Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Boxing New.
Fanboys, be advised, this video contains the absolute truth, may cause hurt feelings, and a need to thumbs down the video. Vergil Ortiz's next fight, Mikey Garcia sees something in Terrence "Bud" Crawford, and Devin Haney is the new Floyd Mayweather. Look, let's just break down the unbiased truth. And we start with Vergil Ortiz Jr. And, according to Mike Coppinger, he states that Vergil Ortiz and Maurice Hooker have agreed to fight March 27th on DAZN. It's an all-action fight, and it's a real test for Vergil Ortiz, according to Mike Coppinger. Basically, he has 16 knockouts in 16 fights. This is a former world champion at 140 pounds. Maurice Hooker's first fight as a full-fledged welterweight after his title run at 140. So this is going to be an interesting all-action packed fight. Vergil Ortiz has a 100% knockout rate. And when I look at Vergil Ortiz, I see no reason to not think that this is going to be another knockout victory. I just think that he's just that good of a fighter. I think he's a special fighter. He's a once-in-a-generational type of talent, and he's constantly improving fight by fight. And so I think Vergil Ortiz does beat Maurice Hooker. I think Maurice Hooker is a very good fighter. I think he's a very tall, long, rangy fighter, and he's going to bring a lot of different things and different looks to the fight for Vergil Ortiz. But ultimately, I just think Ortiz is a special type of fighter. Now, Vergil Ortiz is no stranger to free smoke. I mean, this is the guy who's been wanting all of the top welterweights. I mean, this is the guy right after his fight, he was calling out Keith Thurman. Right after his fight, he was calling out not only Keith Thurman, but Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. He's been calling out all of these guys. He's even called out Terrence "Bud" Crawford. We need to change his name from Vergil Ortiz to Vergil Free Smoke Ortiz Jr. But let's keep it going. We get on to Mikey Garcia, and he states that he wants a Terrence Crawford fight at 147 pounds. He sees that fight as now being possible because Terrence Crawford problems with Top Rank, which will incline him to leave. He even states that these are the type of fights that he's looking for, that's good for him. He's a champion at 147, so that would be the weight that they would fight. And so I don't understand this move for Mikey Garcia, and even saying this, the reason why is because even Mikey Garcia, his own camp, his brother, his father, they still feel he's too small for 147 pounds. He's even said out of his own mouth the only reason he's looking for a fight at 47 is simply because there's no good options at 40. Instead of looking at guys like Regis Prograis, which would make a lot of sense at 40, Mikey Garcia is talking about Terrence Crawford at 47, which makes no sense to me. The reason why is he's already been washed by Errol Spence Jr. Your whole camp has told you that this is not a weight you fight at. And then this guy turns around and struggles with a guy like Jesse Vargas. This fight makes no sense for Mikey Garcia. Even calling out this name, it makes no sense. Mikey Garcia is suffering from delusions. But let's just keep it going. Devin, I got Mel Haney. Devin, I'm dreaming Haney. Devin Pillowfist Haney has come out and stated that he's the new Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather, and his exact tweet was, "I'm Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather reincarnated." Do the research, look at the similarities in styles and career. Now, here's the problem if you look at all of those things. Devin Haney, what a lot of people don't realize is it's easy to look like a killer when you're fighting nobodies. It's easy to look like a killer when you're fighting bums. It's easy to look elite when you're fighting Walmart clerks, grocery cart attendants, pool boys, Uber drivers. It's easy to look elite and great when you fight that level of competition. Of course, no one's going to see your flaws. I mean, at the end of the day, this guy has never fought a live body yet. Not one. He has fought no one to make me believe this guy is truly special. We see the skill sets, but you have to be challenged and tested so we can know your flaws, to see if you're vulnerable, to see what level you really are. Everybody can look like a killer against a nobody. Let's just be honest. And at the end of the day, 21 years old, Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather is not going the distance with a 38-year-old washed fighter, off of a knockout loss and an Achilles injury. That's not what Floyd's going to do. The fact this guy couldn't get rid of a Gamboa means absolutely everything. It shows you that Floyd Mayweather would have never done that. Don't compare yourself to a Hall of Fame all-time great fighter when you've done nothing to prove it. The only thing that you are close to the version of Floyd is the Walmart version. But once again, unbiased as always, it's the IBFP.